Hey everyone, Franco here. Thanks for checking out this video. Today we're going to test or try out the new Popeyes chicken sandwich, and we're going to talk about the 23 million in free advertising that Popeyes got as a result of their online campaign in the launch of this new chicken sandwich. So stay tuned.
I was not ready for this.
No worries, dude. Nice shirt, man.
Thank you.
Dude,
I
what's
have to
up?
kept it in the theme, you feel me?
There you go, dude. Introduce yourself, man.
What's up? I'm Andrade, and we're about to get some chicken sandwiches. Let's
Awesome.
go.
Let's do it.
Are you telling me that the line starts here?
How far is it?
To go, bro? It starts.
That's not bad.
Bro, nah. This is a joke. Check this out. We're at the stop sign, and you gotta cross that around the corner, and it goes all the way back out to that. And then the drive-through line legit starts there, and then you gotta go to get your order. And I don't know if y'all can see, but if you look inside, it's packed inside too.
So I think we're gonna go inside, try to get some chicken sandwiches, and then we're gonna come back to my car, weed them in my car where, you know, the audio will be crisp. By the way, I've only been to a Popeyes for sure once, and I think maybe twice. I'm not exactly sure, but
you
for
would
sure.
remember Popeyes. To
I've
me,
been there
Popeyes
once.
is the best fried chicken location I've tried.
I don't
fast
know.
food, fast
I don't
food
know.
wise.
I don't know. I prefer KFC.
Don't say. Nah.
Yeah, but the old school Colonel Sanders, not the new like
Oh,
millennial
okay.
Colonel.
For me, second is Chick-fil-A, and then third is Church's, and then KFC is at the bottom. You ever tried Church's?
I have not tried Church's.
I know, Church's video coming up. For anyone thinking like, yo, these guys are talking, they could have just waited in line in the drive-through while doing this. Nah, this entire time we've been talking,
The cars have not moved.
I promise you, yes, they
have
have
not
not
moved
moved
at
an
all.
inch. Legit.
So you know what? Let's go inside. All right, so we were in line at Popeyes for about an hour and like 10 minutes, and obviously we wanted to do the video in the car, but unfortunately it's dark outside because it's already like 8:30 p.m.
Look, I'll put it in perspective. It's 8:40, and he picked me up at 6.
6:20. You took forever.
But alright, you slid to my crib at 6.
There you go.
And that's almost 3 hours. And we haven't even touched the food.
The Popeyes. So we're gonna go to the office where it should be empty. It should be great to
The Red
film.
Marketing headquarters.
Exactly.
Shameless plug.
And let's check it out.
Alright.
Hey everyone, so we finally set up our chicken sandwich test, and it's a test for me. I have not had it yet, but Andrade has. So which one do you want to start off with, the classic or the spicy chicken sandwich?
Alright, look. Since I've tried both, I told Franco off the bat, and I've been telling everyone this. Personally, I think the spicy one is significantly better than the classic. So I think we should start off with the classic and then go to the spicy. Also, the classic has like a more neutral taste, so at least our palates won't be as I'm talking about palates like if I know a lot.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, I'm like, yo, you're like a food connoisseur, like what's going on? But
an amateur, very amateur one.
But it makes sense, you know, you start off with the original weights classic, and then make your way up to the spicy, you know?
You guys see that? Look how plump it is. That's
Wow.
where I feel like
Is it because you moved everything to the front for the nice picture?
for the before thumbnails.
All right, let's go for it.
Ready? Oh my god. It's just an actually good, it's a legitimately good sandwich. Like, it's legit. There's no BS around it.
It's pretty good. Oh, I meant.
Alright, so tell them why, the main reason why you came up with this video concept of trying the sandwiches. Because we're not doing this for like just a food review. I think Franco had like a great idea. I mean, we're marketing and advertising, they're kind of hand in hand to an extent. And yeah, break it down for them.
So essentially, I think it's important to see what went on over the past few days after Popeyes unveiled a new chicken sandwich. Because there's been a lot of talk about how Popeyes got about $23 million worth of free advertising.
23
right?
to 25.
23 to 25. And here's the thing. I don't think that the Popeyes team thought of really putting this
How big it would get.
Yeah, I don't think they thought about how big it could get. And at the end of the day, it's just like, look, they shared something and people engaged with it, and that's it.
There's probably that one guy in the office, though, that in the boardroom, the next boardroom meeting, he was probably like, I told you guys.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But no, look, I honestly think, I've read a lot of what people are saying about this. And people are saying, look, you have your earned media, which this can be considered earned in the sense that they shared a post, and then they started engaging with Chick-fil-A. And, as a result of the Popeyes and Chick-fil-A exchanging words on Twitter, that has actually encouraged people to become aware about the brand.
That's something that I was going to touch upon.
It pushed the brand to different levels, right? People who were not following Popeyes were now being shown the new Popeyes chicken sandwich because, guess what? People who were following Chick-fil-A were engaging front and back with both brands. What do you think happened on Twitter or in social media in general that actually propelled this brand to really go viral with the new chicken sandwich launch?
I think what really helped catapult it was, well, in the beginning it was people just talking about the sandwich. They're like, oh, the fact that Popeyes, which is already a chicken restaurant, and their brand recognition is very popular with the whole like, oh, they serve chicken and chicken only, and some shrimp and whatever. It's like, oh, they finally released a chicken sandwich. So I think that's a big point that a lot of people are gonna miss, is the fact that it was like this. It's like a product that's like, oh, how did you guys not have this before, and now they're finally doing it? You get me? Like, oh, a sandwich. Okay, so that was like the first initial thing that I saw on Twitter. People talking about like, oh my God, Popeyes finally released a chicken sandwich. Then I started seeing more people talk about like, yo, the Popeye sandwich is really good, and just sweating it like it was like godsend. And then I saw a little bit of those posts, and then almost immediately after was when I saw like the whole Twitter beef between Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, Wendy's got in on it. I saw Whataburger got in on it. Oh, Shake Shack, like all these companies. And I don't know if you're not familiar with Twitter, and those of you who are totally gonna get this. Especially big companies and corporations who have their social media team intact do really well on Twitter. They know how to make it work. They speak very casually. They interact with users all the time, and it doesn't feel like you're talking to a corporation. It just feels like you're talking to someone who's just running that account. And they're down with the lingo. They know the slang. They know how to talk to people casually, like through the internet. So like, if it was just like a regular post written in a very like template type of manner, like a copywriting that's just very boring, I don't think the whole Twitter beef would have popped off. But like, no, I think it was Chick-fil-A that first jumped in. They came in like head on
with like a low key. Well, yeah, it was like a low key. Our chicken sandwich is original.
Yeah, they were trying them from the start. The start. So that's what made it fun, and that I think that fun aspect is what also helped the whole Twitter beef catch on.
Which brings us to our next point. So, because there was so much beef, there were a lot of people exposed to these conversations, right? These tweets, and because things were getting retweeted, there were a lot of comments.
A lot of comments.
There was a lot of reach. Now, we don't know how much reach there was, but as we mentioned, there's a range, or what was said is that Popeyes got about value. Yeah, they got about $23 to $25 million of advertising value. One of the things I want to like show you today is how you're able to kind of estimate how these numbers come up. And the reason I want to say this is because Andrade one day, he asked me, Franco, how would I price if I want to promote something, right? And it essentially goes back to cost per 1,000 impressions, CPM. And let's say right now you have 1,000 followers on Instagram or 1,000 followers on Twitter, and you share a post. And let's say on average your post gets 1,000 impressions. Okay, well, essentially what marketers do, they will look at those numbers and then see how much they would have to pay in advertising on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram to
just
be
for
able,
the exposure.
Exactly.
Yeah, just let me clarify. No conversion, just the exposure.
Just for someone to see that image, right? How much they would have to pay on these platforms to advertise. So let's say, like I mentioned, that you post something and on average you get 1,000 impressions, right? There is a value that you can put to that. And essentially when you run ads, you will be able to know that, for example, for different niches, right? Maybe you have people who are in their 20s, there's a cost to advertise to them on Instagram.
True.
There's a cost to advertise to parents who are on Facebook. And there's a cost to advertise in general when you're not very targeted.
That's why they reference some key demographics.
Say you have an account and you share something and it gets 1,000 impressions. Well, the CPM, so the cost per 1,000 impressions, can be $5 in a niche such as entertainment, right? Maybe it's not a big dollar ticket item for brands. Like if you sell something related to entertainment, it might be movie tickets or something like that. So there, it's a little more. It's not an expensive thing to promote online. Whereas if I were to try to promote as a company a financial service offering, then it might be more expensive because a financial service offering can cost thousands of dollars. And the result of that is that it's more expensive to show up in front of those people because there might also be less people within that group, right? So instead of, let's say, a $5 CPM, so $5 to be able to show a post in front of 1,000 people, might cost $15 to show a post in front of 1,000 people within that are interested in financial services.
Demographic, yeah.
Exactly. So that's just something to keep in mind here. I don't know what the specific CPM is for Popeyes, but let's say it's about $5.
And it changes too depending on the social media platform too.
Exactly, yeah. So the way that these people came up with numbers is they looked at and saw what it would have cost Popeyes to be able to get this advertising value if they were to put the money themselves.
I have seen several people, like a good amount of people, talk about how like this was started or catalyzed by Black Twitter. And if you're on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. And that I do kind of agree, dude, because like they do move the culture a lot.
Brands that know their audience and create content tailored to their audience. And I guess if you have a follower base that's very, I would say, engaged with your brand, then you stand to do better than other brands that don't have that same love for your brand, right? And
and I think most people know, like, Black Twitter is like, they're super in tune with pop culture, what's going on in the know, and I would definitely agree with people that are saying that did help. I wouldn't say that's the only main thing, because there's a lot of things that came into play with the extent that this grew, like a lot of things, and I'm really glad we touched upon it, because like I think this video, several, from marketing students to marketing professionals to marketing vets, could pick something up from.
Here's a question: do you think another company can pull it off?
I do believe another company could have a similar effect. I don't know about the same extent, but a similar effect. But one, if they were gonna try to do it, they'll have to wait till this dies out, and at least wait a couple of months. You don't want to try to make something go viral immediately after something else has gone viral, because people can tell, like, you know.
Time to try out the spicy chicken sandwich.
The legitimately great one. Yo, I'm telling you guys, this is where it's at. Look at them pickles in between the chicken with that spicy sauce. Do you guys see that?
Where's the spice?
You know, I was kind of thinking the same. You gotta find an area that's got a good amount of spread on it. Do you like it more?
I don't know. It's not bad. I think it's good. But the spice took a while to kick in. Versus the Chick-fil-A one, that one's like bam. But I'll admit, the chicken's really good. It's good. It's good. I'd eat this again.
Popeyes chicken. But yeah.
In the meantime, let's talk about pricing.
I was telling Franco this when we were in the restaurant waiting, like freaking sloths. Foremost, it's the product, and that it lives up to the hype to an extent. And then second, after the whole word of mouth and whatever, is the pricing. Like, I don't think this would have gone I don't think as many people would have gone out to actually buy and try out the sandwich if it wasn't priced so well. And it's only $3.99.
I think that's it for the video.
Yeah, $3.99.
$3.99.
I'm just heads up for any other brands and companies out there that are gonna try to copy or you know, try to build upon try to copy the momentum that Popeyes had. Pricing is also a huge factor to consider if you wanna build hype and momentum, not just behind the product, but behind the brand. Yeah,
it's a lot easier, a lot more accessible to a lot of people.
Exactly, yeah. Accessibility.
Well, that's it for the video. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned a little bit from this video. Maybe it was, you know, which of the sandwiches you should try out, which I think the spicy is definitely the best one.
Facts.
As well as CPM, right? How to measure and calculate what you might be able to charge for your views or your impressions, and essentially why we think that Popeyes was able to reach a lot of people. Now, it may or may not have been their intention or their focus, but you know, at the end of the day, they got a lot of brand awareness, and their stores are literally packed with people. Yeah. All right, so until the next time, please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and catch you on the flippity flip.
You did not end this video like that.